welcome back to the breakdown. Today, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make a server with mods in Minecraft 1.13. We're actually going to be using Forge to do this because 99% of mods run through Forge, so why not make a Forge server to run mods on it? I mean, everything from Journey Map to Not Enough Items to Tinker's Construct to Galacticraft, everything uses Forge to run if it's like a very popular mod. So nevertheless, let's just go ahead and jump right on into it. But first, there's a message from our sponsor, which is Apex Minecraft Hosting. If you find setting up a Minecraft server very difficult, or if you want this to be a public server that you can give to anybody and everybody, Apex Minecraft Hosting is the way to do it. This server is not meant to be set up for more than just your friends and family. If you want to post the IP public in the comment section down below, you have to go with someone like Apex, because otherwise people can find out where you live, they can DDoS you, take your internet offline, things like that whenever you give the IP of this server out to anybody and everybody. Thus, this server is just meant for your friends and family, people you trust. Additionally, with an Apex server, you don't have to do things like port forwarding. You don't have to use your own computer's resources at all. For example, if you have a bad computer, a computer that doesn't have at least 16 gigabytes of RAM, it's going to be hard for you to run a Forge server. So because of that, Apex comes in and says, we don't use your own computer's resources to host your server. We host it on our own servers and get it done there. So Apex is absolutely incredible, so much so we love them and use them ourselves for our own server, play.breakdowncraft.com. So again, you can check out Apex at the first link down below, the breakdown.xyz/Apex. Get an awesome Minecraft server that doesn't require port forwarding, that doesn't use your own computer's resources, and that allows you to have a 100% public server that you can give the IP out to anybody and everybody. Again, that is the breakdown.xyz/Apex, first link down below. Nevertheless, if you don't want a server that's up all the time, if you don't want a server that you can give to everybody and you just want to play with your friends and close family, and you have a good enough computer to be able to run a Forge server, let's go ahead and get it done. The first thing you want to go is go to the second link in the description down below, and it will take you here. This is our tutorial on actually installing Forge. Now, your friends will need Forge in order to run and play on your server, so this is a good article to send them so they can learn how to get Forge. But once you're here, you need to click on the download Forge button here. Once you've clicked on that, it will take you over to here where it says I have an ad blocker, and then it loads ads. Very weird there, Forge. But nevertheless, once we're here, what we want to do is click on, make sure 1.13.2 is selected over here, which it is. It's bolded, and then it also says MC1.13.2 there. Then we want to go ahead and click on the installer button. That will immediately go ahead and take us off to ad focus, where we want to wait 5 seconds. See up here on the top right, wait 5 seconds. Stop! Don't click anything on the page. Don't click anything on this page. All you want to do is click on the skip button in the top right. Anything you see on this main page is a lie. What you want to do is click on the skip button in the top right, and it will download in the bottom left. On Google Chrome, you'll see a little keep button down there. And on Mozilla Firefox, it opens up this right here where you want to click on Save File. So on Mozilla Firefox, we want to click Save File, and on Google Chrome, we want to click Keep. It is 100% safe to download the file as long as it ends in .jar and begins with, I believe, Forge. Let me go ahead and minimize our browser real quick. And yes, as long as it begins with Forge and ends with .jar, it's 100% safe to keep the file, whether you're on Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox. But now we minimize our browser, and here on our desktop, we do have the Forge file we downloaded. If you don't have this on your desktop, no worries. You need to go to your downloads folder, click on the top left for me. It's in the bottom left of your screen. Go ahead and click on that little Windows icon down there in the bottom left, and it will open up this, where you want to type in downloads, and you should have a downloads folder right like so. Go ahead and drag it to your main monitor if you're me, and then drag Forge from your downloads folder here onto your desktop just for ease of use. Once Forge is on your desktop, we can go ahead and right click on it, click on Open With, and then select Java TM Platform SC Binary and click OK. Now, what if you don't have Java TM Platform SC Binary? What do? What if you have it and you click it and it still doesn't work? What do? Well, here's what you do. You go to the description down below where there are two handy links, one being how to install the Java Development Kit. You do need the Java SE Development Kit in order to run Forge, run Minecraft mods. Even Optifine requires Java SE Development Kit, so you need to come here and download this. This tutorial walks you through it, how to get the right version, all of that stuff. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and try to do what we just did, open with Java, but if it doesn't work, you need to come over here and run the jar fix, right? And you can find the jar fix linked in the description down below as well, and this walks you through how to do it. It's a very simple thing. Download jar fix and run it, basically, is it. It just comes up and says, boom, your jars are successfully fixed, and now you'll finally be able to do what I did, which is, again, right click on Forge here, open with, and then click on Java TM Platform SC Binary and click OK. Then this handy Forge installer will open up, where first and foremost, we want to click on Install Client and click OK. It's now going to go through and install the Forge client. But on here on our desktop, we want to go ahead and right click and create a new folder. Then we're going to title this folder Forge modded server. Now you can actually title this whatever, but I'm just titling mine Forge modded server because that's what we're doing. We're making a modded Minecraft Forge server, so it makes sense. Eventually, though, we'll see the client profile Forge has installed. You see that client profile Forge for version 1.13.2 is installed successfully. Awesome stuff. Go ahead and click OK. Now, we're not done there. We want to go ahead and take this Forge file we downloaded again. We want to go ahead and left click on it. And we want to go ahead and go to Open With here. And then we want to, again, select Java TM Platform SE Binary and click OK. This time, though, we want to go through here and click Install Server. Right? We want to click Install Server. Then it's going to say there are already files in the target directory. Yes, there are, because we do not want to install that there. See these three little dots here? We want to click on those three little dots, where it will then open up this. On the left-hand side, we should have Desktop. And then on your desktop here, you should have the Forge Modded Server folder. See that? Go ahead and click on that. Come on, I don't want to rename it. I just want to... Anyway, it's clicked on it, and you can confirm that it is, in fact, selected down here at the bottom. It should say Forge Modded Server right next to folder name. Should say a bunch of stuff, but then at the end, it should say Forge Modded Server, and then click Open. Then it won't be red anymore. It'll be perfect, and you can go ahead and click OK. Now it's going to go ahead and install the Forge server files. You see those files pop up? We can actually open this up and see some of them come in. I actually think that's all that's going to really download, though, like in the main directory, but I'm going to go ahead and let this finish. It will take a few minutes to get finished here, and once it does, we'll be able to go ahead and continue on with the tutorial. Let's do a quick little jump cut. Eventually, it will come up and say successfully downloaded Minecraft server and installed 1.13.2-Forge. See that? Go ahead and click OK there, and it will close out of everything. At this point, this original Forge file can be deleted if it will let you. If it doesn't, no worries. See, it's not letting me. No worries on that. All you need to do is come up here, left click on your taskbar. It's on the bottom of your screen, by the way. So yours is down here at the bottom. You're going to right click on your taskbar, go to where it says Task Manager here, and then in the Task Manager, what you want to do is go ahead and click on Processes, make sure that's selected, and then you should have a Java TM Platform SE Binary. Right click on that and in the task. If you don't have that, by the way, game crash, that was just Minecraft in the background, no worries. But once you do that, you should be able to scroll down even more, and you should have more Java TM Platform SE Binaries down here at the bottom. You want to end all of these tasks. The reason I'm doing this is because normally whenever you would restart your computer, those would all go away, but I'm doing this here because we're going to be starting a Forge server and we want all of those gone. So again, that was right click on Task Manager, so right click on the task bar, at the bottom of your screen, click on Task Manager, and then in Task Manager Processes, scroll down. If you have one up here, go ahead and end that, but scroll down until you see Java Platform SE Binary down here and delete those. Now we can be able to delete this Forge file off of our desktop. Right, like so. Boom. See? Now what we want to do is focus on this folder here. Now in this folder, we're just going to right ahead, right click and create a new text document. So right click, new text document right there. See that? Once you've got that, you can leave it named new text document. That doesn't matter, but you want to go ahead and open it. Then you want to come to the description of this video. Right down below in the description of this video, there is a notepad document that looks like this, right? And it has all of this information, and it's actually not a notepad document. It's just a list in the description where it has 1 GB, 2 GB, 3 GB, 4 GB for your server. I'm actually going to go ahead and remove the 1 GB portion of this because you do not need to host a Forge server with 1 GB. You just don't. You need at least 2 GB, so it'll be 2, 3, and 4. And if you want to add more, you can just change the number at the beginning of XMX to like 6 to make it 6 GB, and XMXX to 6 for 6 GB. But nevertheless, we're going to host this on 4 GB, so we want to copy from Java to where it says pause, copy that, come over here to our new text document, and paste it. Now, once we've got that pasted in here, we're not done. What we need to do is make sure that this name right here, okay, see that where it says forge-1.13, yada, 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 is the same as what it says right here, where it says Forge server, right, .jar. So we need to make sure the .jar names are the same. And in our case, they aren't. Now, there's two ways to do this. You could either change this to what this says right here, or you could take Forge server and rename this to forgeserver.jar. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rename that to forgeserver.jar. And now if we check, the forgeserver.jar is right there, and the forgeserver.jar is right there. Once the name of your Forge jar file that's in your server directory back there is the same as the document you just created, you want to click File, Save As, and then you want to save this as a run.bat file. So we want to do run.bat, and then we want to save type as all files, and not a .txt, but we want to save it as all files. Then go ahead and click Save, and then, boom, you'll see a run.bat file appear in the background. We can go ahead and delete the new text document we created. Now we need to double click on the run.bat file, and this will go ahead and start running our Forge server. However, just keep in mind, it will fail. It will stop, and there it is. Actually, it says press any key to continue, and go ahead and do that. Now, once you press any key to continue, you'll have this EULA.text, right? So go ahead, double click on that EULA.text. It will open up in Notepad, and you want to go to this URL right here. Read over the Minecraft EULA if you agree to it. Come in here and change EULA equals false to EULA equals true, TRUE, exactly like that. EULA equals true, then go ahead and do File, Save, and double click on your run.bat file again. Now your Forge server will officially start up. And at this point, it's worth me noting that if it doesn't start after you agree to the EULA, you need to go in and re-agree to the EULA. Make sure that it does say EULA equals true, all lowercase, exactly like we just had it. But now I'm gonna go ahead and let the Forge server start up, and I'll meet you whenever it is done. As you can see, files are loading in like crazy. Eventually, you will see this right here. It says done on the server. See that? Done. Whenever you see done there, your server is started. Now at this point you could join it locally, but what if you want your friends to be able to join it? Well, we're going to go ahead, port forward, and allow your friends to be able to join your server. So let's go ahead and type STOP here to stop the server. That's going to close out of everything, and then you want to press any key to continue. Now your server is set up, but we need to allow your friends to join it. So you want to go to the top right. For me, it's in the bottom left of your screen, that little Windows icon down there. Click on that little Windows icon, and then type in CMD, exactly like that. See where it says command prompt there? Right click on that, and then you want to run it as an administrator. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and type in ipconfig into the command prompt there, ipconfig, hit enter, and it will go ahead and give us our information that we need to port forward. Specifically, we need our IPv4 address here and our default gateway. You can write those down on a post-it note if you would like, or you can just leave this window up. But nevertheless, you will need these numbers later, so it is important you remember them. The first one we're going to need, though, is actually our IPv4 address. So what we want to do is come over here to where our server.properties file is. You see that? You want to go ahead and double click on it. You might need to select to open it with Notepad. Mine just opens automatically, but you might need to select Notepad to open it. But once you do, you want to find where it says server-IP right here. See that server-IP? And now what we want to do is take our IPv4 address from over here and put it next to server-IP. In my case, 192.168.1.123. Exactly like that. Now we want to go ahead and click File, Save, right like so, and then we can close out of the server properties file. However, there are some stuff in here that you might want to look over. If you want to change, for example, your max world height and all sorts of stuff like that, you can change that in here. However, for us, it's just going to be the same default, but you might want to play around with those. Nonetheless, once you've done that, we can go ahead and open up our web browser here. In our web browser, we want to open up a new tab, and in the search bar right up here at the top, we want to go ahead and type in our default gateway. Now, if you have two default gateway numbers, try both of them, right? And whichever one works, that's the IPv4 address you want to use on that server properties file. So if you use the wrong one, go back and change it. But sometimes you'll have multiple IPv4 addresses and default gateways listed here. Try them both, and eventually one of them will work. So for our default gateway here, in my case, it is 192.168.1.1. Then you want to go ahead and hit enter, and it will open up a thing that looks exactly the same, or most likely completely different from what you're seeing here. One thing that we'll most likely have in common is there'll be some sort of a login box. Mine is right here. Yours might just come down from the top. You will have some sort of a login. Now, what do you do in this login box? What do you put? Well, you can find that information, again, linked in the description down below by following this article. This article right here shows you how to find your router's password. It has helped 61,000 people find their router password, so I'm confident it will help you find yours. But you can go through here and do all of this. Now, at this time, it isn't worth mentioning that with Apex Minecraft hosting, you do not need to use port forwarding. You don't need to know your router's password. You don't need to know any of that. All you need to know is how to log into Minecraft and click play. But nevertheless, right here is Apex Minecraft hosting, so if you come to this article, you can click on it there. It's also the first link in the description down below. But nevertheless, this walks you through it, giving you 5 different methods to find your router's password. By the end of it, you should have found it. And then when you do, you want to come back over over here and then click sign in. It'll then go ahead and sign you on into your router's password, and just like that, you'll see a screen that again is most likely completely different from what you see on your screen. Mine looks like this, yours is most likely something completely different, and that is perfectly fine. That is perfectly okay. We now need to port forward. Now, I've helped millions of people port forward in the past, but if you need more in-depth help, we do have an in-depth video and article on how to port forward. This is our complete guide to port forwarding any router, and the reason we can say any router is we do like 10 different routers in that video. So if you don't have a Linksys router, if you have a Netgear router, if you have a Verizon router, it is all covered in this video. So come here, click play, go through all of that, and you'll be good to go. You'll be able to actually get in and port forward your router no matter what kind of router you have. So that is that right there, and that's where you can go and do that. But I'm going to go ahead and walk you through port forwarding on my router, in addition to giving you some different names that port forwarding might be if your router isn't over here. However, even if your router isn't listed in this video, I would still recommend going through and watching them all, because there is almost a guarantee that your router is similar to one of the ones listed there. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and just jump on into it. So for me, port forwarding is in security. Now yours may be in security, it may be in apps and gaming, it might be in advanced, it might be in advanced, it might be in NAT forwarding, NAT forwarding. It might be in gaming and apps. It might be application forwarding. It might just be called port forwarding. It might be called port forwarding / port triggering. But most likely it's going to be a security tab and an apps and gaming tab, or in some sort of an advanced or administration tab. Once you've found that advanced administration tab, port forwarding, port triggering, or apps and gaming, for me, I had to go to security, then I have to go to apps and gaming. Now, I'm not done. Most likely you get to apps and gaming and you're done. But for me, I then have to click on single port forwarding, right? So that's what you're looking for, port forwarding, apps and gaming, NAT forwarding, NAT gaming, port forwarding / port triggering, single port forwarding. There are many different names, but overall, you're looking for port forwarding or apps and gaming. Once you're here, I'm going to go ahead and delete this old port forward. You want to add a new port forward. You may just have a list of like boxes. Go ahead and just fill one of those out and you'll be good. But for me, I have to click add a new single port forward. For our application name, you can name this whatever, but I'm just going to name it Minecraft, right like so. That way we know what it is. For anything mentioning port, and by the way, application name for you might be service ID, name, something like that. It doesn't matter. All that is just so you can identify what it is. Now, for anything mentioning port, period, external port, internal port, outside port, inside port, port 1, port 2, whatever it says, it doesn't matter what it says or what it calls it, but if it says the word port at all, you want to do 25565. Anything that says the word port, you want to do 25565. Guess what? External port, we did 25565. Internal port, what are we going to do? 25565. For your protocol or your, actually don't know if there's any other name for that, but basically it should have something like TCP, UDP, UDP/TCP, or the option for both. Whatever you do, you want to make sure you do TCP/UDP, UDP/TCP, or both. If you can't select both, do your port forward twice, once for TCP and once for UDP, keeping all the other information the same except the application name, because you won't be able to make that twice. But nevertheless, do the port forward twice, once for TCP, once for UDP. However, if you have the option to select them both, which you probably should, go ahead and select both. Now for device IP, that's going to be our IPv4 address. In my case, that was 192.168.1.123. Now you might just have a list of computers connected to your network. If that's the case, select your computer that you're creating the server on. So for example, if you have like Matt's computer, and that is in the drop-down list over here, you want to select Matt's computer because that is the computer that you are creating the server on. Once you're done with all of that, you can make sure it is enabled. Yours most likely won't even have that option, and you can click Save. Now, you might have device IP, also called internal IP, and then you might also have an external IP. And if that's the case, what do? Well, in that case, you want to make your external IP your public IP address. And how do you get that? Well, of course, you go to a link in the description down below, what's my IP, and it will take you here where you will have your IP address is, and then your IP address. Now, in my case, this is all blocked out for you because I don't want you to know my IP address except for the last 3 digits, because that way you know I'm using the same IP address or public IP address through all of this. But you can see over here on the right hand side, this is all the information that people can get on you with your IP address. That's why it is so important to hide it and make sure this is only given to your friends and family, and use Apex Minecraft hosting whether you just don't want to port forward. It's a great way. You don't have to port forward with Apex. However, if you want a public server, Apex is the way to go because you don't have to use your local IP for it. You use their IP address. Nevertheless, once we're here, we want to go ahead and copy our public IP address, and then we could come back over to the port forward, and if we had the option for an external IP, we would paste it there. However, we don't, so we can just go ahead and click apply and click OK. The hard part of the tutorial is over. That is the hardest part of starting a Forge server. Now we can actually go ahead and open up Minecraft. I know it's incredible, but don't be going and clicking play right away on the Minecraft launcher. Okay, you don't want to do that because we need to make sure we select Forge, the Forge version that we installed in the Minecraft launcher to run our server and to be able to play on our server. All your friends will need Forge 1.13 Plus as well, or specifically 1.13.2 to be able to run this server. So again, you can check out the eye up there for our in-depth tutorial on installing Forge. Nevertheless, Minecraft launcher is doing a bit of an update for me right in the middle of my tutorial, so I'll see you once it's updated. So there we go, the Minecraft launcher is updated, and once we're in here, we want to click on this little green arrow next to the play button where we should have a Forge profile. Now, if you click on that, go ahead, click on that, and click play. However, what if you don't have a Forge profile? Well, no big deal. You want to click on these 3 lines up here in the top right, and then click on Launch Options. Once you're in Launch Options here, you want to add a new profile. I'm going to name this profile play.breakdowncraft.com. Why am I doing that? Oh yeah, because play.breakdowncraft.com is our Minecraft server, an incredible 1.13.2 grief protected survival server. It is by far the best grief protected survival server in the multiverse. I really do believe that. We put so much time and so much work into that. We have custom jobs, we have ranks, we have an incredible shop with an awesome economy. Come play with us. Play.breakdowncraft.com, 1.13.2 vanilla survival. You will absolutely love it. Nevertheless, once we're in here and we've got our name, play.breakdowncraft.com, we want to click on the version here, and for that you want to click on the release 1.13.2-Forge. Now I have multiple options here. If we have multiple options, we want to click on the most recent option that's available. You can tell that by looking at the last 2 digits here. As you can see, 26 is higher than 22, so we want to go with 26. I'm going to change my resolution real quick. That's something you don't have to do, but I do it just so you can see once we're in game. Then we can come back over to the news tab here, and then we can click the little green arrow next to the play button. We'll have a play.breakdowncraft.com profile here. Click on that, and then as we can see, that is 1.13.2-Forge. Now we can click play, but hold on, we still need to start our server. To do that, come back over to your server here and double click on the run.bat file. As you can see, the server started up immediately there. I'm still keeping up our IPv4 address and default gateway just because I'm going to show you 2 different ways that you can join your server. Currently, our Forge server is starting over here. Minecraft is opening up with Forge installed in the background. Forge 1.13 does take a while to open at first, and there it goes. It is finally open there. So let's go ahead, get that on open, and then I'll see you after a quick jump cut. So there we go. Forge is now open. As you can see, Forge beta warning at the top. We also have the mods tab, and down in the bottom left, we can see that Forge is installed. And then over here, we do have the done on our server. Now we go ahead and click on multiplayer here. What is that? Oh, if this pops up, by the way, it's actually kind of a good thing. You want to go ahead and allow access here to both private and public networks. So go ahead and click allow access. If you don't have this, Windows Defender Firewall may actually be blocking people from joining your server. If, for example, you've done your port forward correctly and people can't join your server, that's what you need to do. You need to go and allow people to join the server via Windows Defender there. But nevertheless, once we've got that, we can see here the best server in the multiverse, play.breakdowncraft.com, protected 1.13.2 survival, 90 players online right now. Thank you all so much for that. Come play with us if you haven't already. Play.breakdowncraft is the IP, but let's go ahead and join our Forge server. That is why you're here after all. Now, to join our Forge server, we want to click Direct Connect here. See that? So we want to Direct Connect, and then we can Direct Connect personally, like you, the person who's hosting the server, are the only person who can join off of this, but just to test and make sure your server is live, we can join off of your IPv4 address over here. So in my case, that is 192.168.123. Then we can go ahead and click Join, and we'll be able to see me join in right there. Nick's Games is joining in. Boom, boom, boom. It is joining in the console, and we are, in fact, in the server now. So we lag to load the chunks around around us. But there we go. Server is set up. Server is up and running. However, how do your friends join the server? Well, they're going to use your public IP address. And if we remember, we got that back over here on whatsmyip.com. We got our public IP address here. You can only see the last 2 digits because, well, I don't want you to have my public IP address just like this over here. This is all the information people can get from you from your public IP. That's why it's important you only give this to people you trust, your friends, your family. And now we go ahead and open up Minecraft again. We can direct connect, except this time we'll direct connect to our public IP. I'll also go ahead and pull up the server console here. And now we can go ahead and join via our public IP. As we can see, Nix Games is joined in over there in the console, right there. And we are in the same game, proving to you that this is the same server, joined both off of our public IP address and our IPv4 address. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. Now, I do want to mention something. If people can't join your server, it is most likely a firewall on your router, or it is on your own PC like Windows Defender or an antivirus. You need to make sure you make exceptions for the port 25565, your public IP, your IPv4 address, all of that in your firewalls if you don't turn them off completely. However, if you do that, always turn them back on before browsing the web. Nevertheless, you want to make sure that a firewall is not blocking the connection. 99% of the time, that is the issue. It could also be an issue with your port forward, meaning that your port forward is done incorrectly. You want to look at all of that, make sure all the IPs are correct, all of that stuff. But nevertheless, if you do have any questions and that doesn't solve them, let me know in the comment section down below. My name is Nick. This has been The Breakdown. Enjoy your new modded server. Wait, I'm forgetting something. How do you install mods on this server? Well, you can check out the eye on your top of your screen right now, as well as on the screen right now. There's a video on how to install mods on a Minecraft server. If you go there and go through that video, I will show you how to install mods on this server we just created. So, I'll see you over there to get mods on your server. My name is Nick. Give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you liked it. And I am out. Peace.